Come on with the charting now from the Bahamas. Come on with the charting. Okay, because if you didn't chart it, you didn't do it. Come on. Thank you for listening, though. All right, listen, guys. Hey, happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Married to Medicine. You listen, I see some people was trying to get backstage. Backstage is full. It's jam-packed. We got full house backstage today. Listen, Married to Medicine, Revenge of the Bride. This is what? Season 10, episode number 4, Married to Medicine. Like I said, just I see somebody trying to get back. I'm sorry, backstage is packed, okay? There's no more room at this moment, okay? Adiva, you didn't let me on this train. Oh, Shan, VIP. The VIP missed the train. Boo, I'm sorry. You missed the train. You wasn't at the stop, and we had to give up your seat. I love you, though. I love you. So listen, guys. Yes, okay. It's Married to Medicine, and honey, they giving us, oh, what a show. I think we can all agree Miss Phaedra Parks was made for reality TV. She know how to give a show, but she don't know how to cook. She had Dr. Jackie and Dr. Heavenly over there, and she ordered out that food. And listen, y'all, I'm not claiming to be no Martha Stewart over here. I'm not no Julia Childs. I can't cook like that, but I can. You gonna eat a little something if you come by. Yeah, you will. You can eat a little something. I'm gonna whip you up a little something to eat, and your tummy's gonna be satisfied. And I make the best salads ever. But did you notice that Phaedra was taking the arugula out the bag and putting it right in the salad bowl? Girl, you better rinse that stuff off and get you that salad. Messy. And you know, Dr. Heavenly always talking about somebody. Came up in Phaedra's house and talking about it. Now, did Phaedra have mixed things going on in her house? She did. But the house was cute. She got a cute little house going on. But is it different? What do you call it? I don't know. What's the designers out there? Help me out. Is it different types of furniture in the house? Yeah, it is. But, you know, it was still, you know, it's a nice home. Okay, so Phaedra ordered that food and didn't clean off the salad. I hope nobody's tummy was hurting when they left. All right, so that was Phaedra, Dr. Heavenly, and Dr. Jackie. Now, you know what? I know y'all love Dr. Jackie, and y'all think I don't like her, but I do like Dr. Jackie. But I just want Dr. Jackie to stop breaking HIPAA laws. Every time we see Dr. Jackie, she want to talk about some patient or to a patient. Hey, Maya. Maya, call me back. Yeah, because I got your ultrasound results over here, and I need to talk to you. Jackie. Yeah, Dr. Jackie is messy. She messy boots. Just show us, just have a scene of you going home. Don't be naming your patients. Talking about ultrasounds, CAT scans, uterus. Don't do that, Jackie. She messy. All right. Dr. Simone and Cecil called Toya and Eugene on the phone. Yeah, she ain't get full name. She's still messy. I like her, but she's still messy. Okay. They called Cecil. They called Toya and Dr. Eugene on the phone. They was talking about the bachelor party and how Dr. G was ready to take off his pants. The men are messy. I don't know. Come on, y'all. That's why. Thank you, Don. Hit that like button, y'all. Hit the like button. Listen, I don't know what's up with these bachelor parties and the strippers, but we'll talk about it. Dr. Simone, Cecil, they talked to their son Miles. Miles is on a 10-year plan for college. Listen, everybody can't do it in 4. Some people can't even do it in 5. Now we trying to figure out what plan is Miles on. Okay, I got distracted by that comment. I'm sorry. So he, Miles is a late bloomer. Leave him alone. He's trying. Yes, come on, Shan. He's on a 10-year plan. He want to be a film director. He's still in school. And Cecil is like, what's wrong with generational wealth? Cecil is approving, or he said, Miles said, a wise man told me to take my time. Well, Cecil don't care because, he ain't got to work for the money. Cecil is living the life. Things has turned around a little bit. Long time ago, it was the ladies that would find themselves a man that had money and they would chill. Now there's a lot of men out there finding themselves a good woman and they sitting back and they chilling. I don't know where Cecil worked it on. I don't know. Okay. So Sweet Tea and Dr. Gregory, they go over there to their rehearsal before the wedding. And the Don, you called it. That's Johnny. That's Johnny from Real Housewives of Atlanta is a planner. And he's still looking a hot mess. Johnny looking a hot mess. I wouldn't hire Johnny to facilitate nothing for me. Not even a 10-year-old birthday party. But that's me. So Johnny was facilitating the wedding. Looking a whole hot mess. Needed an extra $14,000. I want to know where the money went. Now, I thought it was cute, but I was trying to see where the money at. What's going on here? But Dr. G looked really happy. He did. And so they go to do their little rehearsal, and Dr. G is 5 years older than Sweet Tea's mom. I'm not marrying my dad. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not doing that. I'm not marrying my dad. I'm not doing that. And y'all see, I'm not going to get into this conversation today, right? Yeah, Papa. I ain't marrying my Papa. No, I'm not. Look, they can look like brothers. The Don, you so messy. I cannot do this with you. Yes, that's what that picture the Don got up. That Sweet Tea dad and her husband, looking like they could be brothers. I'm not doing it, but you know what? I ain't mad at Sweet Tea. Yeah, Sweet Tea got her sugar daddy. Yeah, Sweet Tea did. I ain't mad at. So Greg, he was like, "Don't worry about it. I got that $14,000." And then he called Phaedra and said, Phaedra, what you doing? You being messy, Phaedra. And Phaedra, because she reality TV, she's like, I don't worry about it. It ain't gonna happen no more. In other words, I already did that scene. I'm good. Come on now, shout out to Phaedra. Phaedra need a whole award in these streets, okay, for reality TV. Because she done brought Johnny back. Her bringing Johnny as the wedding planner, that's a sticking it to Candy. Yes, it is. Phaedra know how to do it. Phaedra was like, oh, you wanted to block me? You wanted to block me from reality TV? Candy? Because of things I did? Don't worry, I got Johnny. Now Johnny over here with me on Married to Medicine. That darn Phaedra in reality TV. She messy. But she giving us reality TV though. Okay. And then, Laura's prom, Dr. Heavenly's daughter. She looked beautiful. She's a beautiful girl. And then, you know, Toya's birthday. Toya will always put a dig in on Dr. Eugene. She lucky Dr. Eugene really love her. Because she can never be happy. He in the bed, brought her breakfast for her birthday and a birthday card. And she's reading it and she puts a digging on him. That girl can't get enough with just digging. Okay? So who came to this wedding? Oh, we saw Dr. Contessa and her husband. Dr. Contessa looked good. She looked good. Dr. Alicia and her husband. Phaedra was there. Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Damon. Well, you know what? They saying all kind of things about Sweet Tea, but didn't Sweet Tea take that name off of Dr. Heavenly's name off that list? Dr. Contessa, I'm trying to get there. Y'all. She in shape. Yeah, I got the trainer. Let's see. I'm going to take some before and after pictures. I'm giving myself to March. Come on, Dr. Contessa. Over here drinking my water and doing squats and stuff. Yes, she does look good. Shout out to Dr. Contessa. You got to give it up. She looks good. Okay. I wish she was still on the show too. I do too. You know, I didn't have a problem with Dr. Contessa. I didn't have a problem with Anila. But you know, it is what it is. And here we are. But she looked good. She was in the building. Okay. Phaedra was in the building. Simone and Cecil was in the building. Dr. Heavenly. Okay. And Daddy was in the building. They got in the building because the producers let them in. That's what that's what Sweet Tea said on her live. She said, no, I took her off the list because I was pissed at her for talking about me and saying my marriage wasn't going to last. And she said production let her in. And if I'm not mistaken, because I only listened to Sweet Tea's live once, but I want to say she said that production let Phaedra in too. But she said Phaedra did bring the officiate that, you know, married them. And then plus, I think Phaedra introduced her to Johnny. Okay. And so Quad was taking a bubble bath. I'm going to be honest with you. It's not even that I have a problem with Quad. Before y'all go there, I don't have a problem with Quad, but there's no place for her on Married to Medicine, in my opinion. So we seeing her take a bubble bath. Does this make sense to y'all? Now, it was funny, but again, I ain't mad at Quad. You get you a whole check for the foolery. So I guess so. But listen, guys, y'all know what I need. Y'all know what I need, right? Oh, wait. And before I go there, I want to say this. Because I watched Watch What Happens Live with Andy. Let me say this. And this is, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I think Dr. Heavenly and Quad, the way they handled themselves on Watch What Happens Live with Andy, and the way that they dragged Sweet Tea for filth, I thought it was disgraceful. I thought it was disgusting. I thought it was bullying. I thought it was so gutter low. And listen, I say this a lot. Really, all of that for a check? Yes, it was childish. Come on, give me the words, Shan. Give me the words. I mean, I'm like, all of this for a check. It's a thin line between entertainment and just, despicable. Come on now. I thought it was, this girl is young. This girl is young. And you know what I get this Sweet Tea? Yeah, she get a little feisty in the confessionals. But you know what I'm going to get? Come on, just terrible. What I will give this Sweet Tea when you saw her live, she said, just pray for them. Yes, she did. And she also said this too. Listen, everybody's not into labels. And I ain't mad at y'all. Shout out to you. I told y'all, I do high and low end. It depends on what I like, what I get, and what the pockets say at the time. I shop at Walmart, Target, Macy's, Bloomingdale's. The label is not, she's young enough, right? She's in her 30s. Sweet Tea is in her 30s in comparison to Quad, who's in her 40s, and Heavenly, who's in her 50s. What do I look like sitting here going off on a young girl in her 30s? Like, shame on me. Seriously. when I'm supposed to be uplifting and helping you out and giving you a good word. And you're 32. She's young. She's young. She's young. Oh, Shan, your mom 52. I could be your mom, Shan. You know, what do I look like? What do I look like tearing down a young lady? For what? They talked about this girl so bad. It was just terrible. I thought it was terrible. Yeah, I thought it was terrible. But listen, guys, what we're about to do here, we're about to load this train. I like Sweet, what's she say? I like Sweet Tea. She's giving us her authentic self. She sure is. She sure is. Do you think she's a messy gold digger? I actually don't. I really feel like she cares about Greg. But I'm gonna tell you this: if she's a gold digger, and this is me saying it respectfully, Greg don't have that type of money. He don't have that type of money. If I'm digging for gold, if that's what I'm going to do, if I'm getting with you for money, well, it got to be more than the money that Greg has. Yeah, I'm not, no. If I'm going to dig for gold, I'm digging Kevin Hart gold. I'm digging Steve Harvey gold. I'm digging, an NBA player gold. I'm not digging on the low end of the gold side. Yeah. Uh-huh. And Dr. Heavenly said Greg is cheap. Yeah, I ain't doing all that. No. But listen, guys, I need a what? I need a choo-choo. Hold aboard, everybody. It's Tuesday night, and we're here doing a recap of Married to Medicine, Revenge of the Bride. Okay, so let me go ahead and load this train and bring the people in the building. Hey, Leo.
Hey, Diva, Married to Medicine, Married to the Messy, Married to it. Let's get to it. Choo-choo.
Choo-choo. Hey, to Don.
Shout out to the brothers.
Oh, shoot. Go ahead now. Which brother?
Greg and Sweet Tea Dad.
Yeah, oh, shoot. Yeah, don't do that. You're so messy. Shout out to the brothers, though. Shout out to the brothers. Yeah, Hey, everybody.
Hey, Diva. How you doing?
Hey, y'all.
Choo-choo. Choo-choo. It's going to be messy.
It's going
to be a messy one. Right.
So listen, I like to mess with Dr. Jackie, okay? Up there in the office, breaking the HIPAA laws again. Talking about, hey, Maya. Anyhow, Dr. Simone and Cecil, they called Toya and Eugene. Talking about Greg had the best time at his bachelor party. Talking about he want to pull his pants down. And I like Dr. Alicia. She jumped up on that table trying to explain to her husband how Tisa was acting. What's the name? Sweet Tea was acting at her bridal shower. Okay. Now Phaedra, they go to Phaedra house. And Dr. Jackie scared of the little dog. What's that little dog name again? He was cute. Okay. And Phaedra over there ordered out the food so she could serve Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Jackie. And so, Dr. Heavenly.
Diva.
Yes.
What happened to the butler?
Oh, you better talk about it. I missed that in my opinion. You better talk about it. What happened to the butler?
Dr. Heavenly said,
yeah. What happened to that nice chocolate candy bar she had walking around?
Oh, okay.
Dr. Heavenly said the butler was there. They just didn't show it, but the butler was there, according to Dr. Heavenly.
Oh, okay.
Well, why he wasn't serving the food then? He went and got the drinks the last time.
Mm-hmm. And why he didn't go get the slippers? All right, he was there.
Can I say something about the interview that you talking about on what happened live?
Not right now, Dustin. Give me a minute. Well, when I come
Sorry
to you, you're fine. When I come to you, you can mention something about it. Okay. And so she fed them, and they asked Phaedra, why did she bring Quad to the bridal shower? And she made up some nonsense about that. And they talked about Dr. Heavenly talked about Phaedra's home. And they questioned, Dr. Heavenly also questioned whether Sweet Tea and Dr. Greg marriage is going to make it. Now, listen, let me say this. Once somebody decides to go down the road, and I already spoke to them, I'm not going to keep tearing down what they're about to do. I'm going to celebrate with you. If this is what you want to do, and we already had our conversation and you told me you good, then I'm going to walk down the path with you and pray to God that you're going to be good. Okay? Because listen, nobody's life is perfect. Things happen. It gets a little messy, and it is what it is. Now, I might as well go ahead. I'll throw this other scene in there because we're going to have a long scene about the wedding and other stuff. So I'll throw this scene in there with Dr. Simone, Cecil, and their son, Miles. Miles is on, the long-term plan here. And, I'm a mix of both schools. I'm going to hang in there with you while you get it right. But if you're taking this long to get it right, I'm going to need you to get a part-time job or something while you're doing it. I got to have you do a mixture of both. But you can't be coming to me for all the gas money and you on the 5-year plan or the 10-year plan. Or you don't know what plan you really on. You just floating in the wind. I'm going to need you to do some internships or something. I'm going to need you to be making films around this house. Show me some films that you have made that you're going to go put into the contest. I'm going to need a little bit more. I'm on the note with Dr. Simone. At some time, I'm going to need you to pick up your wings and fly. Okay? Leo, what are your thoughts about those scenes?
Okay, so the first scene with Dr. Jackie and Dr. Heavenly at the at Phaedra's house. So I am also in the school of kind of like minimalist. That's kind of my style too. So I don't like a lot of things around. So I got what Jackie was saying about it. It was a lot of nice stuff. It reminds me of a person who had a huge place and then they had to downsize and they had to stuff all their really nice things into the house. So that's what it reminded me of. But okay, that's Phaedra trying to make sure everybody knows she got nice stuff. So one room was Versace, one room was, I don't know, Italian art or Italian theme, and some other stuff looked kind of Louis Vuitton and some, it was a lot. Mm-hmm. And to tell you the truth, Heavenly had me a key because she was like, Jackie, what you say? What you saying about Phaedra house? And Jackie was like, you ain't about to put this on me. I ain't said that about Phaedra. I had to laugh at that. So, and then the next scene was with Dr. Simone and her boys. And I'm kind of like you. I feel like if you are privileged enough to be able to cushion your children, everybody ain't got to struggle. If you have enough to cushion your children, enough for them to get their education, I think that's acceptable. But I'm also a part of the old school too, because I'm also, in my 50s as well, that these boys need to be doing other things. They need to at least pay their own car insurance, get you a car washing job. You need to do cutting lawns. You need to be doing an internship somewhere. You need to be doing some things and paying some bills, not just living off of me 100%. Even though you're in college, you hit your 5th year in college, then you need to be doing something to earn your own money. I do believe that. Like I'll pay for your education. You have a place to stay. But I mean, truth be told, when I was 25, I was paying a mortgage, right? Mm-hmm. So everybody ain't built like that, but you got to build your kids up to that.
Yeah.
You can't have your kids. What if, God forbid, something happens to Simone and Cecil?
That part.
And they don't know how to live. Like, you got to teach your kids. I understand you want them to be totally successful and you've given them a cushion, but you got to at least teach your kids how to live. If they can't even do that, they need to be, we was domestic service in my house. I mean, all the dishes was washed, all the bathrooms was clean, the whole house was vacuumed, and you went to school, and you did all the things you were taught how to at least live. So I get Simone's point, but I get Cecil's point too. You can afford to give them some cushion. You can. And I think you should.
Yeah.
But with a little bit of guidance of self-independence.
Absolutely.
I'll say that. And the third scene was what now?
No, that's the only ones we went through so far.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So okay, and then you know what? Then I forgot to add this too. I'm gonna need Dr. Simone to touch her husband every now and then, because we done been through several seasons. Remember, he was entertaining that chick. Now I ain't saying this right. Remember, he was entertaining old girl, and old girl stayed in the house for a little bit and all that too. I'm gonna need Simone to pay attention to the hubby, and every now and then, touch him.
And stop being so bossy on air. Like, Cecil says, but I'm not in agreement. We got it. We get it, Dr. Simone. We got it. That's a cringe-worthy kind of stuff sometimes, the interactions that Dr. Simone has with her husband, Cecil. I want to know what kind of job he has. I really want to know, too. But I just ain't, I'm just you ain't got to be fake, but you ain't got to be so hardcore either. Like, just be quiet.
That part. Because even Miles said you ain't gonna do nothing with Dad anyway. So why I need to leave? Okay. The Don.
I appreciate, like I said last week, Dr. Heavily and Dr. I can't think of her name. It just slipped my mind.
Dr. Jackie.
Dr. Jackie's relationship, I think, is an authentic relationship, and I think they do really well bouncing off of each other. Now, as far as Dr. Jackie being messy, Dr. Jackie ain't worrying about being messy. She ain't losing no patience. She ain't losing no money. As far as I'm concerned, I heard that she was booked and is not taking no new patients and don't take Medicaid or Medicare. She only takes private insurance and cash. So I think she, those people not worried about them giving her a call, on Married to Medicine. But she can calm down with it. It's like every episode she's mentioning the patient. I'm like, at first I was kind of like, trying to let it pass, but y'all might got something on your hands there. It's like every episode she's saying a name. So, that can kind of calm down just a little bit, Dr. Jackie. I'm still in your corner. But them talking about Phaedra's house, Phaedra can take it. Phaedra do the same thing. And for everybody saying Phaedra ain't this, Phaedra ain't that, Phaedra got one of the nicest houses I've seen on reality TV. She getting money from somebody. Whether it's over there in another continent. She
not illegal money now.
She hasn't lost her law license. She has a successful funeral home. She's getting money from somebody and making it. So that house is nice, beautiful. I don't know about the decoration and all that stuff, but
the actual house, right?
Everything was in there. I guess that was supposed to be there. Just give me a good old big TV and a nice couch. But yeah, she had a nice home, and her sons, they showed a clip of her sons. They're continued to grow up. They still seem to be extremely respectful.
Yeah.
But like you said, I wanted her to wash that arugula. You took that right out the bag. No, we got to rinse that off a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Now Cecil and Dr. Simone. Shout out to Dr. Simone for being a parent and not a friend. Your son has already been in college for 4 years. You've already paid for college. 2 different colleges.
Come on, you better talk. Come on, talk.
And you're paying for his living expenses.
Come on.
There's nothing wrong with him living there, but he needs to participate in the expenses. Outside of him doing your schoolwork and your filming, you need to get a job.
Yeah.
And you need to participate in assisting with this light bill. Now, if you're anything like my dad was, when I came back home after college, he made it miserable for me, uncomfortable. It was the same rules that I had when I was a little boy. Ain't no closing no doors in his house. Ain't no talking loud after a certain hour. You still ain't coming in the house all times of night.
Oh, your dad was gangster.
You know, this is still my house. Yeah, you can live here, but this is still my house. If you want your own rules, you go to your own house. And Cecil wants this lackadaisical lifestyle for these boys, these black men, because they ain't no boys, they black men at this point. And you're gonna have to feed them something other than patty caking them on the back.
Yeah.
Because Miles just seems so careless about everything. Like, does he even know how to pay the light bill? I mean, he was so careless, and Dr. Simone said, no, what is your 5-year plan? And I think that's a necessary conversation we have to have with these students heading to college and in college about to graduate. What is your plan? Because you may want to come back here, but this is not your permanent residence forever. And I think Cecil needs to figure out what's his plan too, because he seems to be always got a cup in his hand. But
Cecil's got a plan. His wife is rich.
Exactly. And his sons act just like him.
Yes, they do.
They act exactly. He is the model citizen for I'm not gonna say, because the youngest one don't see him often, but Miles, Miles acts just like Cecil. It's like there's no get up and go. There's no I want to do this. It's just so, I'm just like, kick him. I want to kick him in his butt and like, dude, you got all the opportunity. Your mom and your dad, will almost pay for anything for you, but you still want to be lazy. No, you can't be lazy, Doc. And then you wanted to take only one class during the summer. No, I need you to take a full load during the summer. You need to get up out of here.
Well, his dad told him, don't even worry about taking those 2 classes.
I'm just like, come on, Cecil. You selling one house a year.
Not one house a year.
Oh, the dog.
Those are those two scenes. I'm just, I'm ready for Miles to grow up and become a young man. Get up and go.
100%. He really needs to, but like you hit the nail on the head. He's just like his dad. And we already know how Cecil is. He's laid back.
Absolutely.
Because Cecil even said it. He laid back. He said, what is wrong with generational wealth? In other words, what is wrong with him just chilling? Cecil is a mess. But in my opinion, you're up.
Child diva, let me tell you something. Okay. First of all, I'm not gonna even mess with Dr. Jackie because she just messed it for no reason. Dr. Heavenly ain't got no style. She may have the baddest house in the land. She ain't got no style, okay? It looked like she went to a different store and got the couch. She went to a different store and got those end tables. She went to a different store and got that chair, okay? And she just put it in there and said, this is going to make it work, okay? We're going to make it work, okay? I don't know where Benji was. I guess he was in his cage because he sounded like a dog name anyway. So I guess Benji was in his cage because they said Dr. Heavenly said on her live he was there. I guess he was in his cage. He wasn't working. The check didn't clear, so he can't work no more. Alicia was so extra when she was telling this story, the way she hopped up on the table and was roaring. I was like, you know what? Every time I see her, I be like, I forget you on here because I don't know nothing about you.
I know.
And then you get with your husband and you get all animated. I'm like, girl, I need you to get animated when you with everybody else. Like, I don't know nothing about this girl. So I'm trying to figure out where she plays in here, and I just don't see it. And as far as okay, so Toya is a different creature. I think her husband has learned to love that she's gonna nitpick. She's just gonna nitpick at him, and I think that's just her way of showing love. I'm not for sure that that's gonna be successful for the long run, but I just think that's her way. She's been doing it so long. I think somebody gonna have to hit over the head and tell her, look, a man ain't gonna let you sit there and just do it all the time. So, and as far as Simone and Cecil, I'm gonna need Simone to sit down with them boys and tell them like them old time mama used to tell them. Boy, if I see a C, okay, you gonna be paying for school, okay? Because I ain't paying for C's, and ain't none of mine gonna bring me down. And I ain't finna pay 5 and 6 years for a 4-year college. I ain't doing it. That boy needs to grow up because that boy is now turning into a man. And if she gonna cradle him and put the pacifier in the bottle in his mouth now, guess what? That boy gonna be a grown little baby, okay? Still want mama to put that pacifier and bottle in his mouth. Cut that string. She know how to cut it. Cut that in biblical cord.
You know, he does need some direction. And my thing is, are you making movies? Are you gathering your friends together and going around the town and making one of those little movies that you could put in the indie? There's a lot of people that they make movies off of their cell phone, whole movies. I'm gonna need him to show me a little something more that he's doing besides I'm about to graduate next year, maybe. Sebastian, you're up.
Good evening, everyone. How is everyone today? I want to say this, and it needs to be said. Simone and Cecil need to do similar things as to what my parents did to me. Well, not similar, because I was way younger than when he was. At the age of 18, finishing high school and everything, my mother and father said to me, Sebastian, you're gonna have 3 options at this age. You're gonna have 3 options. Because I said this, I'm gonna defer a semester and I'm not gonna go to college for a semester. I want to wait. And they told me you'll have 3 options. And those options are this. You either get a job and help us with the bills. You either go to college and we will help you with that. Or the third option is you get the F out of my house. That was what the third option was.
ABC. Okay.
They gave me those 3 options. I said, you know what? I'm going to go to college. Simone and Cecil have coddled this young man. Have coddled him. And I think it's at the point right now where it's too late. It's too late. Well, it's never too late. But it's at the point right now where he will always think that mommy and daddy will always support. Well, I'm not saying don't support his decisions, but will always tolerate this. He needs reality, and reality needs to hit him hard. The college I go to, a C, is practically failing because my major, I can't get anything lower than a C minus. So a C is practically almost failing for me. Simone and Cecil, you need to tell your son that there will be a day where you or Cecil are no longer on this earth. You need to tell your son that. Because if your son doesn't know that, he will always think mommy and daddy are here and they will help me finance my lifestyle and they'll do this. And I'm going to say this, and this may hurt people. I am all for generational wealth. But generational wealth sometimes leads to spoiled brats and privileged children.
Ooh.
I'm done.
Oh, well, thank you, Sebastian. I will say this, when it comes to grades, right? Everybody is not necessarily like a top student like that. There's some people, they study all day long and they still end up with a C or whatever the case may be. My thing is get the grade that is the grade that I know you can get, and I'm gonna support you. As long as you get the grade that I know that you worked hard for and that you can get. And, we're going to work this thing out together and we're going to figure it out together. And as long as you are on the path of figuring it out, I'm going to support you. And if midway you get there, and I told my son this too, if you find out as you're doing this particular major that you want to do a U-turn, do the U-turn now. I'm going to support you, right? And I'm not going to support the mess and every year you turning around, maybe this, maybe that, or whatever. You got to at some point have some direction. But I do know this for sure, that everybody is not a A-B student. And I don't want you to like break your neck and kill yourself trying to get an A or a B if that's not you. But if you pass and your passing is a C and that was the best that you can get, I'm supporting it, because at the end of the day, when you get this degree, every job, I mean, you could put, oh, I had a 4.0 on my thing. They happen don't care about that. They're going to hire you. They're going to hire you for certain jobs. But go ahead, Sebastian. Then I'm going to go.
I want to see this one last thing.
Uh-huh.
The C's do get degrees, because you need a 2.0 to get with a bachelor's. So C is a 2.0. But the issue I'm starting to realize is, yeah, he is probably getting those C's, but he's probably also getting a C- and sometimes a D, which makes him land below the 2.0, which is why he's extending his stay at college. That's probably what's happening.
I think he's all over the place with his major. But it could be a mixture of both, but you are absolutely right. Let me go to Zeta, and then I'm coming to you, Emmanuel. Go ahead, Zeta.
Hi, y'all.
Hey.
So Dr. Alicia, she's so pretty, and her husband's pretty cute too.
Yes.
But I don't understand really what's her impact on the show as of now. But I'm looking forward to her for the rest of the season. For Phaedra's house, Dr. Jackie and her little slick comments talking about the house is so colorful. I thought that was funny. I also did not appreciate her not washing the arugula before she put it in the salad. Like, ew. What else happened? With Dr. Sorry, I'm trying to remember. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. What was I going to say? Dr. Simone and Cecil talked to their son Miles.
Also, before we get there, honestly, Dr. Heavenly says everything that we are all thinking out loud. So that I know we're going to address that later on in the episode. And as for Dr. Simone and Miles, okay, so I'm going to toot my horn for a little bit. I've been in college for a little while, for 5 years now, actually. I started in 2018. So I've been on the chancellor's list since 2019. I'm an overachiever and I do what I do. I started graduate school while I was also an undergrad. So I did early entry and I'm getting my master's degree in this spring coming up. So yay me. And I've graduated with honors with everything. So I understand where he's coming from. I also have my parents. They support my whole entire life. Like I couldn't do nothing without my parents. And I really do love education. I love going to school. I've got I've got 6 degrees now, okay? Because I did double majors and double minors, okay? And I'm working on 3 masters. So
Period.
Thank you. So I understand him going to school and taking your time. Like for me, I probably want to get my PhD after this. I don't know. I just going with the flow because I know at the end of the day, yes, my parents are going to support me. And it's your job as a parent. If you have the means, you're going to have to set your children up. That's how I feel. And that's how my parents raised me. My parents don't believe in us working because in their culture, they didn't have to work. And it's a slap in their face if your kids have to work because you are the parent. You're the one that's supposed to provide. You set them up for later on. So yeah, I agree with Miles taking his time getting his degree, and not Dr. Cecil. As for Cecil, they all are low-key living off of Dr. Simone. Poor Dr. Simone. So I went to go research because I noticed on Cecil's shirt he was wearing a HomeSmart I guess a brand on his shirt, and I guess that's where he worked. So I went to go look it up, and then he was working for a whole different company. But then on his Instagram page, I do see that he is working for HomeSmart. And like the Don said, he must be only selling 1 house a year because why aren't you advertising more so that you can relieve the stress on Dr. Simone?
Yeah, y'all, I'm sorry the slot went away that fast. Zeta, thank you. So here's the thing. I think with Miles, you have degrees, right? I don't think Miles has gotten one yet. I think that's part of their problem. And here's the thing. Yeah, shout out to the career students. Not mad at y'all. But I will also say this. At some point, you should move into the realm of trying to apply the degree that you earned, right? So just say, for instance, we at some point we all gotta go. We all gotta leave here, right? You want to be, and what if your parents didn't leave you enough money to last you for the rest of your life? What I find with a lot of these jobs is they want the degree, but they also want you to have some type of experience. And there are some degrees that you have where that automatically will put you out in the field in a higher bracket. And there's some other degrees where no matter if you have your doctorates in that field, they still going to start you at in a certain bracket, if you can follow what I'm saying. So I'm not against education. I'm all for education, but I'm also all for, at some point, you got to apply the education that you receive, right? And maybe go do an internship, go do some type of job, apply one of those degrees. You
I
understand?
completely agree. Yeah, I agree. And also, since he has the means, and you can use nepotism. My parents, I know I'm going to use their connections to get whatever I need later on. But as of right now, I don't need to work. My parents don't encourage me to work. They encourage me to go to school and do what I have to do to get my degrees, because that's what I want to do. And once I'm done with school, and if I don't want to go to school, I know I can always go back home and just chill for a little while and go travel and do whatever it is I want to do, because it's not necessary. Because if you got the means, what's the point of you working so hard if you can't set your kids up,
Right. So, Wazita, you got an interesting point there, but I can't even go down this path right now with you. But I'm loving it because I want to go down the path, but I can't. We may have to have a separate conversation about this, as a trending topic.
Amen.
Because I want to go this path with you. But see, and again, because my family supported me, I'm into supporting my kid. But I also told him too, like there's certain things, like as a graduation present, I'll give you a down payment to something, a condo, a townhouse, something. Do you know what I mean? But you don't have to go. But when you're ready to go, I'll give you a down payment. But the thing is, though, I think I got to move on. But I'm connecting with you. But we got to do this on a trending topic. I think I'm at Dustin, then I'm coming to Radiance. Dustin, your thoughts?
I was gonna say support David. I was gonna talk about the interview with
Huh? Okay. Emmanuel, you're up. Did I come to you, Emmanuel?
No, not yet.
Okay, you're up.
Okay, so I remember when Nini described Phaedra's style as bougie and ghetto. She said it's bougetto. That's kind of what her decoration was giving. But the house,
come on now, that's
right, like a little bit of everything. But the house is big and it's nice. And Phaedra looks like she's a pretty good host. I mean, she had good food for them. She brought them some slippers. But what I will say is Jackie does not like Phaedra. Do y'all observe how she looks at Phaedra? Look at the faces she be making at her.
I gotta go watch again.
Yes, next time you watch, look at how Jackie looks at Phaedra when she's talking to her.
Okay.
And I agree with what Diva said. Stop talking about your patients. That ain't cool. No, she's not breaking any HIPAA laws, but she sure is playing with fire with that. With Simone, at first I thought Simone was being a little bit dramatic, but I didn't realize that Miles has been in college for 5 years and hasn't graduated. And I mean, college is just so expensive, so he needs to be mindful of that. But then we got to remember, I mean, children learn through observation, and so if he sees his dad behaving a certain way, the chances are he's going to follow with that same type of behavior. So hopefully he gets his stuff together, because as someone who also has his mom paying for my college, like, I'm mindful of that. I'm mindful that it's expensive. That's why I do get on top of my stuff. And I did multiple classes for 2 summers. So I was able to skip a year. So now I will graduate in May and then go to law school later on in the fall. So, and I feel like yes, parents should be like providing for them and whatever. But I feel like the least I could do is get good grades and do my best. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of people were saying C's get degrees. Yes, C's get degrees, but do you want a doctor who got C's to be operating on you? I don't think so.
You want to know how many doctors that you have that operate on you and that do things and that has flunked their residency and had to do it over and over again? You'll be shocked.
That's crazy.
You'll be shocked. You know how many lawyers that had to go over and do their bar like maybe 7, 5, 10 times? Listen,
I bet you that Mercy doctor that doctored on me, he got to see probably.
Listen, some of the best doctors have gotten C's. So what you got to understand is that a grade doesn't define everything. It does not. It does not. I know some very smart people that just get test anxiety.
That's true. That's true.
And but they know that stuff like the back of their hand. They know it. I know some very good nurses that never even went to get their 4-year degree. But if anything ever happened to me, I would ask the hospital, call them in. I don't care where they at. I know some techs that just didn't go to school, but they would be some darn good nurses. So the thing is, I'm definitely, I'm into school, but I like a mixture of both. I like a mixture of, teach yourself and you go to the higher education and you get the degree. But I know some very, very intelligent people and they didn't come out with a 4.0, 5. They did not. And some of the smartest doctors have repeated stuff over and over and over again. So, you gotta and then I think there's some people that the reason why I'm not so big on grades is because there's some students that pressures themselves so much. They get depressed. They unalive themselves. They talk down on themselves because they don't get an A. If I know you can get an A, then I'm going to be like, yo, what's up? What are you doing? But if I know that is not who you are, I'm not going to beat you down with a stick to get an A. If I know your kids and you know what they can and cannot do. My son happens to be one of those students, like he can do it. But I'm not going to get crazy if he gets a C and I understand what the heck happened. Like if I know he wasn't studying, then it's a little different. So I don't think we need to put all this pressure on ourselves because these schools, let me tell you this too about school. When you get to, I'm going to say junior high school, from junior high school all the way through high school and somewhat a little bit in college, we're learning the same thing over and over again. It's a gag, but we got to do it. Does history change? It doesn't, right? So you learn history in junior high school, you learn it in high school, and then you learn it in college. Did it change?
Sometimes.
What you heard what you said? Sometimes, because history is history. It slightly changes. You did calc in junior high, you did calc in high, you do calculus in college. Did it change? But I don't want to go down this education path with y'all because it's some money grab in some sense, way, shape, or form. Now, education does more for you mentally, but I'm talking about in terms of what they're teaching us. I sat down and thought about it one day. When I bought my history book for college, I was like, what is different in here? What is different is they add some more presidents, but most of the stuff is the same. But we'll carry on. Who am I up to? Smoke, you're in the building.
Howdy, y'all. Happy belated Thanksgiving. Hopefully everyone had a good one. Opening scenes. Okay. We gonna get off of Dr. Jackie's back about talking about her cases. She's on, and Diva, I know you saw my comment earlier, and it threw you off track from the beginning. She's literally on a show called Married to Medicine, where she is a doctor of medicine. And she sees patients every single day. So if we want actual reality, she's talking through her reality, which is her job. She's a practicing OBGYN. So if anything, and nobody wants their name put out there or their possible diagnosis or being a case study, then you shouldn't be going to Dr. Jackie. Hell, go to Dr. Simone. I mean, whoever goes to Dr. Simone, barely, but everyone goes to Dr. Jackie, just saying. Cecil and Simone and their son. First of all, I would have slapped the crap out of him when he said that Cecil Simone is on a 10-year warranty since they've been together with each other in that kind of way. But I think Cecil needs to back up Simone on this, because here's the thing. If he doesn't take it seriously now, he's going to constantly be leaning on them to like bail him out of a jam, and our parents are not going to be here forever. So they're doing, I think Cecil is doing a disservice to Miles by not having him, forcing him to like, okay, you got to grow up and like, listen, you don't have to know everything right away, but you have to have certain things in place before you move forward, because that is not going to be the way I want to work. And then I think the brother's kind of following suit as well. I totally agree with the Don. If Cecil was a very successful realtor, he would have more time to be selling houses than being in the boom boom room and arranging bachelor parties for his friends. With that being said, so that's also fun.
Yeah, thank you, Smoke. Radiance.
Hey, panel.
Hey.
Now, Phaedra is the ultimate Southern belle, right? She can cook, she can clean. It's not that she don't know how.
Okay.
It's just that she doesn't have a full-time man at the home to cater to at this time.
Oh.
So Phaedra is a businesswoman. So she can order up if she wants to. She bring in the Bitcoin so she can pay out just to eat in. Is what all the housewives do.
Oh.
And Heavenly can't talk about nobody by the way she dressed and the way her home is styled. Because Heavenly has a big home. But her house is not glammed up. She needs a interior decorator.
Mm-hmm.
And with Cecil and Dr. Simone talking to Miles is on a 10-year plan, okay? But he said he spoke to a wise man. No, you didn't, sir. You talked to a lazy man.
That part.
Okay. Cecil is a kept man. He said, what about generational wealth? Shut up, Cecil. It's like Simone is the breadwinner. She trying to make sure it's not generational debt that we're collecting. Okay, now Quad, I'm here for Quad. You know how important you got to be for a show. If you can show up and be booked and busy to do a bubble bath scene. I'm just saying. All these other girls, they got to clock in and work hard. She does not. And for me, I think it's tacky for Dr. Jackie to be discussing her patients. Like Dr. Simone doesn't do that. The lesser doctor on the show, the one that they forget is a doctor on the show. She honors her patients. She got payment plans. She take all the insurance. Shout out to the Dr. Simone.
Okay, now.
Wait.
Oh, shoot. Shout out to the Dr. Simone.
Diva, can I just add something real quick?
Yes.
Because I'm so glad Radiance brought this up about heavily talk about Phaedra's house. I was like, how we forget how Mariah had to tell her to pressure wash her house. Anytime that Bravo does an overview of her house, that house is pressure washed and clean. And there hasn't been an event at Dr. Heavenly's house since Mariah said to pressure wash it. Just saying.
Oh my God. Listen, Denzel, you're in the building. What's up?
Yeah, I'ma just keep it real. I don't like Phaedra because, you know, to me, this is my opinion. I don't like Phaedra. I think she's a liar and she's fake and she can't. And I think I like I said, I don't like Phaedra because she's, you know, she's fake and she's a liar and she can't be trusted. But I will say that she do have a gorgeous house. I will give her that. She got a gorgeous house. I give her that. And she got she got a nice decor. She got the, you know, facade she whatever she got. So that was nice. And I do like Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Jackie's friendship. That was a mess. That was a mess. that when they was asking her about, you know, when she brought Quad. I, you know what, at first I was blaming Phaedra, but to be honest with you, Bravo TV Productions, they wanted her on that at Sweet T's um bachelorette party.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the Bravo TV Productions, they wanted her there. So I'm not gonna blame Phaedra for that, because you know Bravo TV, they want them ratings, and so that's you know what they did with that. Um, Dr. Simone and Cecil, um, you know, they need to really, you know, come together and agree, because it looked like it don't look like that they not really agreeing on stuff, and they paying for for their son's college. Dr. Simone, she's the one paying for the college, right?
I'm sure. Listen, they're a couple. So even though Simone doesn't want to, acknowledge it, it's their money together.
Right, right.
And it's their son. And
Yeah, right.
you
Yeah,
gotta set some standards with these kids, or else they just gonna roam and they're gonna think the money is in a bottomless pit and they could just keep plucking and plucking and plucking, right? You gotta have some standards, and I do believe you gotta make them work for a little something, whether you got the money or not, because they
exactly,
will tend to get out of control. Like the other day,
exactly.
my son was like, "There's a concert. It was $250." I said, "Oh, that's nice."
Yeah, yeah. I agree. I agree with you.
Your money that's in your account.
Right. I agree with you. And I'm gonna move on real quick. So because I don't want you to go overtime. So I'm gonna make this quick. But they paying for his college, and he needs to get together. And they not. I'm gonna just keep it real. I'm not trying to be fun. They not gonna always be there. So he needs to grow up. He needs to get a job, and he needs to help them out, with the bills or something. And a good question, do Cecil, do he have a job? That's a good question. And was that the other? What was the other scene, or was that it?
That's it.
That's it. Okay, that's it.
Thank you. All right, so I'm gonna move on. Sweet Tea and Dr. Gregory, they go to their rehearsal dinner. Dr. Gregory, I don't know if y'all noticed, his twin brother was there. And his future brother, his father-in-law, who I wonder if he's older than the father-in-law too, right? But they was there. The wedding was nice. In my opinion, I feel like Sweet Tea really loves Dr. G. And she wants this thing to work, and she's happy. There are some people, and I'm not saying this is Sweet Tea, there are some people that just want to be a bride by any means necessary. Now, I think it personally comes back to bite you in the butt later. But listen, in life, you got to take chances, right? She found her man. They seem to be on the same page in one thing. He seemed to, treat her well when we see them together. So I'm happy for them. I'm rooting for them. And I pray that this thing works out for the both of them, and they get to have the family that they want to have. Seemed like a really nice crew. Her family was there. Her bridal party was there. She made to be a beautiful bride, right? Alora's prom, she looked gorgeous. Toya's birthday, Toya's Toya. And now we get to this wedding. And at the wedding, when Dr. Eugene and Dr. Heavenly couldn't get in, I laughed. It reminded me of when I think it was Nene. Nene wasn't on the list at some party and she lost her stuff. I think it was Nene who didn't have the invite. Somebody didn't have an invite somewhere. But eventually, Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Eugene got in. Okay.
You mean Dr. Damon?
Dr. Damon, thank you. Dr. Damon got in. So Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Damon got in. And when Dr. Eugene and Toya came up, she was like, "Yo, you was just at the bridal shower. How are you not on this list?" Right? And then they let them know, we took you off the list. Now, here's the thing that I find that is so ironic. what I find is so ironic is what's his name? Curtis made it to the bachelor party, but he was back in the DR for the wedding. I found that ironic, but I do know that the sequence that they show us the show in is not necessarily the sequence of the show. They chop it up and cut it up how they want, but him being in the DR, it ain't the math is not mathing for me. You know, and Dr. Jackie is running around everywhere together. So now here it is, you done changed your whole schedule. You hired a whole new OBGYN to be in your office, and because Curtis was complaining, and now he's over in the DR. So you're getting home early, and now you home alone. Ain't that some mess? I thought Dr. Contessa and Dr. Scott looked good. It was nice seeing them. They showed Quad having a bubble bath. Phaedra talked about her wedding and how, you know, she knew Apollo since high school. And of course, you know, their wedding was out of control. And then Toya talked about how she had this whole big wedding. Okay. And that was that. And then it was Watch What Happens Live with Andy. I'm almost over watching these reality TV shows. And the reason why, again, I'll say this. When I saw Dr. Heavenly and Quad on Watch What Happens Live with Andy, I was appalled. I was mortified. I really wanted to turn off the TV. I'm going to say about 90% of that show, they was just talking bad about Sweet Tea. And my thing is, if you're not bothered, Quad, why do you have so much smoke for this girl? You didn't want him. You divorced him. You wasn't having sex with him. Why do you care? Then you say you wish him well. You wish Dr. G well, but yet you keep talking about Sweet Tea, from her dress to her this, from her that. I just thought it was disgusting. Leo, you're up.
Look, these people are just here to make good TV, and I feel like with the drama that went on with Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Damon Daddy, I feel like it took away from the moment of the wedding. The whole thing was about Heavenly. Would Heavenly get in? Would Heavenly not get in? Heavenly eventually showed up in. Even in the confessional with Sweet Tea, she was like, I disinvited her. Yes, my matron of honor told me all the things she was saying about me. I don't know how she got in. So it wasn't even about the moment itself of the wedding. I could see how happy Dr. G looked. Dr. G is over the moon. Mm-hmm. You know, he was over the moon in the wedding. He really looked like he was really, really, really happy. And she looked like she was happy too. And just for a moment, right? Just give me a little bit more of the happiness of the wedding than the drama of Heavenly. And quiet as it's kept, I believe that the producers got Heavenly back in. That girl stood her ground.
Sweet Tea said that.
And I believe that's right. Sweet Tea stood her ground, and the producers, because it's her wedding. She should be able to, regardless of whether or not we feel like it was the right thing to do, whether or not it was messy or not messy, she gets to decide what guests are going to be at her wedding. She really does. She has a say so. Should she probably have run it by Dr. G? Yeah, she probably should have, because it sounds like to me, Dr. Damon and Dr. G homeboys. So, you know, Damon is just seeing it like, I don't know. I know y'all probably mad at Heavenly, but what I got to do with that? I should have been invited. So my wife got to be invited. But anyway, I thought Johnny was messy. Johnny looked like a hot mess to me. He did look like he was squeezed
with the broom colors on.
I'm telling you, he was just, Phaedra. If that's what you suggested and you call yourself a friend and an ally to Dr. G for his wedding, girl, you is fired. You fired. Clowns to the left, fools to the right. These people were showing off. I do like the fact that Toya was kind of shady as well, because Toya already knew Heavenly what they invited when she got there, because she was grinning too hard when she got there. She was all teeth. She already knew that Dr. Heavenly was disinvited.
She did.
She already knew. She did. She was gritted way too hard. What do y'all think about how the brothers, how they did the wedding rehearsal? How much younger Sweet Tea Daddy looked than Dr. G? I found that very kind of like I don't know, I was taken aback. I kind of clutched my pearls. I was like, where did he do this at? Hey.
I really feel like, to be honest with you, Leo, I really feel like people are okay with certain things when the person is of a certain status or have money or whatever. I feel like, Sweet Tea had mentioned that her mom was against it at first, but was okay once she saw them together. I feel like if someone's daughter come and they're like in their 20s, they're like, oh, I'm dating so-and-so, and he's like 32. I feel like the parents might pass out a little bit, but then they go, well, he's an NBA player. I think everything they thought gets washed away because they hear NBA player, right? I feel like, it wasn't just an older man. It's this older man, and he's on TV, and he has his own do you see what I'm trying to say? Because if my daughter came home and the man she is dating is 5 years older than me, I know I can't stop her, but I'm almost pass out.
I would too. His grades just stuck out to me just so much more. But just like you said, he's a doctor, he got his own practice, yada yada. My parents wouldn't care nothing about that, but okay. If I drug in somebody that was 80 years old, they'd be looking at me like, girl, have you lost your natural born mind? Like, what's really going on?
Right. I will say this. I do think Dr. Barrett looks good, and I think he looks much better because every time they show that flashback, and I'm mortified when I see it, of him falling out when him and Quad were trying to have counseling on the floor. He looks way better now than he did back then. He lost weight. He does look good.
He looked distinguished. I'm not saying
there it is. Yeah,
he does. He looks distinguished. He does. He does look a lot better. It ain't my cup of tea, girl, but those who like it,
right,
like it.
Yeah, it's about 55. Yeah, he said, and I think Dr. G said it's 23-year difference between the two of them. It's a 23-year difference that they have between the two of them. He mentioned that. In my opinion, you're up.
Okay, I'm gonna give a disclaimer. My opinion does not reflect the diva and her brand. Okay, let me tell you something. Phaedra is a hot mess because when he called her on the phone and said, "Why did you bring Quad to her bachelorette party?" And she said, "Oh, I just thought that they needed to talk." You didn't think nothing, okay? You was trying to be messy, and we clocked you being messy because you was doing the same thing on the Housewives. You was trying to be messy, and you was trying to start a fight. That's what you was doing because you did it on Atlanta. Miss me with that. Okay, and then he said, well, you supposed to be looking out for her. Oh, I am going to be looking out for her. Miss me with that because when we got to the wedding, she said, these look like funeral programs. Not you going to say we up here mourning a funeral at a wedding. Come on, miss me. Let me tell you something. Phaedra is the bottom of the barrel low. Okay, I hope he sees this show and he cuts off these people he's calling his friends because your friend ain't gonna do you like that. Sweet Tea, I'm glad you uninvited her, but let me tell you something. I would have told him if y'all let this thing in there, y'all better find her something to eat. She wouldn't be eating my beef Wellington. Okay, let me. You're a bigger person than I am because we would have had a whole fight on the dance floor, and then I would have said security. Yeah, she's not invited. I need her out. Let me tell you, I would have showed my whole behind. Don't believe me? Just watch. And let me tell you something. The whole scene with Quad and she talking about she ain't bothered. Oh, something is bothering you. Because first of all, before the show even started, you said, I'm appalled.
Well, that's right.
That they got them on the show and didn't ask me. Honey,
You
you
better
ain't
remind
even one, the two, or the three of this show, okay?
Yeah.
You are a non-beneficial factor because let's be for real. You was out for a couple of seasons and I didn't miss you. You don't bring nothing to the show, and you're not married to medicine either. So what are you so high-ho about? Oh, because you wanted to be the young hot thing on here. You the only one that wanted to be the young thing because everybody else is older. And see, Quad was the young hottie on here. She don't want no competition. She never does. And that's her blame. Let me tell you something. If you so hot and bothered by your ex, then you should have kept him. But you didn't want him. And you don't want nobody else to have him. How silly are you?
Yeah.
Play stupid game, win stupid prizes. And let me tell you something, Heavenly. You sat there and told myself, what? I didn't do nothing. You know, because you were sitting there telling Simone them, well, do y'all think they need to be getting married? I don't think it's not what you think. You not marrying him or her. You have nothing to say about it. That is between that man and that woman. You have nothing to do with it. You worry about you and Dr. Daddy Damon, okay? That you always calling dad. And I got a problem with that, but we'll save that for another day.
Thank you, in my opinion. Sweet Tea didn't pay for the reception. Bravo did. I guess that's the price she had to pay since they let Dr. Heavenly in. But you know what though? But I guess she wanted a scene too, because I would have been like, she don't want me in there. I ain't going. I'm out. And it was my daughter's prom too, or whatever the case may be. But I mean, they're doing what they got to do for the TV. Sebastian, you're up.
I'm so glad we're up to this scene because a lot needs to be said. Dr. Heavenly said nothing wrong at that bachelorette party for that friend to go run over and tell Letitia. She said the truth. Letitia shouldn't have gotten married now because she's clearly unready and immature.
Oh.
Ever since Letitia came onto this show, she has been shading Quad, forgetting who fed her, forgetting about the hand who fed her and brought her onto this show, i.e. Dr. Heavenly. Dr. Heavenly was actually friends with Letitia when she brought her on this show and everything. You're forgetting a lot, Letitia. You can't forget who fed you. You cannot forget.
You better watch Dr. Heavenly interview. She wasn't friends with her. She told Quad. She said, I showed you her picture before I went and talked to her. We needed her for the show so you could stay on. So no, she wasn't friends with her.
You better tell it, in my opinion.
You need to remember that Dr. Heavenly is who fed you. You wanted to come on this show because you needed money. You did not have money to do your own reception, so Bravo did said reception for you. Dr. Heavenly is a staple of Married to Medicine. Whenever you talk about Married to Medicine, she's probably one of the first thoughts in your head when you hear Married to Medicine. So I want you to hear me clearly. Sweet Tea, Letitia. No, we're calling you Letitia. Letitia, I want you to hear me clearly because we're not doing the nicknames right now. We're doing the full names. Letitia Lunsford. Remember who Dr. Heavenly Kimes is. Always remember her. Because whenever she wants to make sure that her presence will be in said institution, no matter where it is, it will happen. Production needs her. There is no Married to Medicine without Dr. Heavenly. And that's why they made sure she got in there and sat up there and had you looking like, oh, and Simone's face when Heavenly came in was just like, Toya was all shocked. I want Sweet Tea to learn something as well. This is the big girls group. This is the big leagues.
Oh.
Reality TV, you grew up watching it. Well, since you grew up watching this show and everything, you should probably know how to defend yourself with words. You should probably know how to read. Because these women It's not the place. This is not some Oprah Winfrey show. Oprah Winfrey Network show where it's very calm and etc. No, this is Married to Medicine. Yes, you are getting married to medicine. You are married to medicine, but you got to make sure that you're ready to deal with it. Dr. Heavenly came on season 2 of this show. I want Sweet Tea also to remind herself that she said it herself to Heavenly. She said it herself. Oh, I'm seeing the similar traits to what Quad said. How'd you know what Quad said about Dr. G unless you're watching the show? How'd you know, sweetheart? How'd you know? Please tell me. How did you know how Quad felt when she was in said relationship with Dr. G? How'd you know unless you were watching the show and you studied the show as well? How'd you know? I don't want to hear this BS as if Heavenly is the problem in all this. No, she's not. I fed you. I brought you here. You need to be grateful. You need to be grateful. Heavenly was promoting this young girl before the show even aired. We saw Heavenly showing this young girl on Instagram. Oh, hey, I'm hanging out with Dr. G's almost new wife, and etc. Heavenly loved this girl, but you decided that you wanted to bite the hand that fed you. Well, now that hand made sure that she had her butt on a chair at your wedding. She made sure of that. Production made sure of that. And you had security. And look, security couldn't even do something that you hired. You hired them to do something, but they couldn't even do it. Because Heavenly is one of the queens of Married to Medicine. And that is not the one you want to mess with. You don't want to go to war with Heavenly. You don't. You don't. You really don't. You really don't. And Sweet Tea, I wish you and Dr. G good luck. Because if you're saying that he was giving you the same traits that he's been giving to Quad, I won't be shocked if I hear of a divorce in the next couple of years.
Thanks, Sebastian.
Zeta, help me out too.
Now, see, that's on shade.
Emmanuel, you're up. That bit the hand that feeds you, that was a reach, but Emmanuel?
Yes. So first I want to give it up to Toya because she looked amazing in that wedding. And I think that she probably looked the best out of everyone. I liked Phaedra's dress as well. I like seeing Contessa. I don't want her back on the show or anything, but it was nice to see her and what's his name? Scott. Dr. Scott. Yeah, they're a very good looking couple. So it was great to see that they were invited and that they attended. And I was also happy to see Sweet Tea would spend some time with her good friends and family. Mm-hmm. You know, people who wouldn't fat shame her and stuff like that.
Right.
So let's talk about Heavenly Kimes, okay? Because this needs to be said. We often hear the phrase, "It's in the name." Well, Heavenly proves that there's exceptions to that rule because there ain't nothing heavenly about her. Okay, so Dr. Heavenly is the product of someone who, when they first come onto the show, they're funny, they're authentic, they call it how it is, but all these little fans get into her head, and then she starts to overproduce herself, and it's a mess. It has gotten to the point where Heavenly is doing and saying things that are trickling down to someone's personal real life. I just want to say shame on Heavenly for luring this young girl in, convincing her to come onto the show, pretending that there was going to be a safe space because she pretended to be her friend, only for Heavenly to backstab her. Okay, if you talk about me and the person that I'm going to marry in a negative way, hell yeah, you're getting off the list. I don't want all that negativity in my wedding. And, you know, for someone who claims to have the perfect marriage and to be a relationship expert, she seems pretty miserable and unhappy. Always having something negative to say about everyone, even her so-called friends. Always going on lives. As soon as she figured out that she was uninvited, what's the first thing she did? Pulled out her phone and started recording because she was about to post that on YouTube. So this is the same woman that has a dental office and the same woman who makes people pay money to attend her so-called university. And this is what you do? It's not a good look. And speaking of not a good look, Quad and Heavenly on the after show with Andy Cohen, absolutely sickening. absolutely embarrassing. A 53-year-old and a hard 40-year-old woman sitting up there making fun of Sweet Tea's voice, her looks, her clothes, her relationship. It's so unbecoming. And they are looking like big old haters. And I hope it's worth it for that check. Like, it's giving obsessed, it's giving desperate. In the words of Mariah, that ghetto-ish gotta go. That's
Well, come on, Emmanuel. You spoke a word. You spoke a whole word right there. It's a thin line. And listen, we're not addressing this today, but I want to just show y'all something that people are losing it online. He's saying what's going on with
Let's leave that there. Just like we left Wendy's mother there, let's leave this one there too.
We're going to leave it there. We're going to leave it there. We're going to leave it there.
Ooh, child.
We're going to leave it right where it's at.
Exactly.
I just interjected with that. We're going to leave it there. Oh, that's
I know that's right.
Yeah, every now and then we got to put stuff on the table and just leave it there. Don't even look at it.
A quick update.
Come on, Denzel. Quick update. Come on now. Zeta, you're up.
I want to begin positive. I love Alora's perm dress. She is so pretty. Oh my goodness. I also thought the wedding, everybody looks really, really good. I love Dr. Simone's dress. I think she said she got it from the Vault, so I might have to hit up Phaedra for that little outfit. Also like her dress as well. So let's get into it. Dr. G is such a corny man. I don't like him. And also Phaedra is really fake. She's talking about some, oh, this will never happen again, bringing Quad to hang out with what's her name, T. But at the end of the day, they're, like, they're filming a show. Of course she's gonna run to him again. And then G talking to some, well, you gotta run it by me. Why? It doesn't matter. We're filming a show. That's the reason why you joined the show. You know what's gonna happen. It's gonna be drama. Like, y'all are going to run into each other. And then as for T and G, she talking about some, oh, he's such a good man. How is this a good man? How is this a good man? The same man that you said that is controlling you and he's throwing finances in your face. I don't think that's an example of a good man. And I understand why she thinks this is a good man, because your father is allowing you to marry this man who's older than you guys. He is 5 years older than your mother. That is disgusting. All your dad is seeing you as a cash cow. You literally said it. Your dad speaks about this as back in the day when you trade your daughter for a cow. You think you're a cow? Babe, come on now. You have to have better self-esteem than that. You cannot. No. And you're getting upset. And I would be upset too that these people are attacking me. You're on TV and everybody isn't here to scrutinize you, but you also don't have the self-esteem already. And now this is just going to break you down even more. So I feel really bad about that. As far as the wedding, she was pretty. The bouquet looked a mess. It looked like flowers I get from Publix and I sit in my living room. And Dr. Heavenly had to come to the wedding anyways. Dr. Heavenly isn't essential for the show. She's the one that keeps the mess up. And that's the whole, and honestly, that is the whole reason why Sweet Tea is on the show, because we wouldn't really have a season without Sweet Tea here. We wouldn't, if Sweet Tea wasn't here and Quad wasn't here, we wouldn't be interested in Sweet Tea. They both are needed together, okay? And what else do I have to say? Also, Toya knew that Dr. Heavenly wasn't on the list, because that's why she was chuckling, because she probably talked about it with T before she came in. And at the end of the day, we'll see how it plays out at the end of the next episode. And I did feel bad for Dr. Damon, because he didn't deserve that. He was there to see his boy get married, but your wife is a smidge bit messy. That's all.
Oh shoot, Sweet Tea mess.
No, Dr. Heavenly.
Dr. Heavenly. Okay, yeah. Okay, got it.
Because she's talking about Quad. She talks about Heavenly as well, and you do it backhanded. You do it behind their back. Girl, do it to their face. This is a show. It's going to come out anyways. Say it like it is. Stand on it and keep it moving. And I also think with Heavenly and the rest of them, they know that, okay, well, some of them, they know that we're doing this for the show. Heavenly says that I'm going to do everything for the show because it's the greater good. This is putting money in our pockets. We need the drama for our pockets. But once we get off the show, girl, everything that was on the show was just for the show. We're still friends. Like with her and Quad. Yes, Quad gets upset. But at the end of the day, that's still my friend. We're just doing this for the money. And maybe they need to discuss that outside and be like, girl, anything I say on the show, don't take it to heart for real. It's just for the show.
I hear you, but it's not just for the show because people catch feelings, right? So Heavenly is big mad at Sweet Tea because Sweet Tea said on the show, hold on, wait a minute. You got problems in your marriage. You said you took a frying pan to your husband's head. So Heavenly is big mad over that. And that's part of why I feel that she's going in so hard on Sweet Tea. So what you can't do is you can't go dragging and ragging everybody and then say it's just for the show. But then when somebody come at you in daddy marriage, it's like, oh, so y'all removed from it. You could talk about everybody, but if somebody come for you, then it's not all games anymore. But I hear you. Smoke, you're up.
I'll take from my favorite spiritual advisor, Iana Van Zant, by the looks of Dr. G and T's wedding. Yeah, they were prepared for a wedding, but are they really prepared for this marriage? If the red flags were popping up the way they did, where we're literally hearing verbatim the same thing he had going on with his first wife, I give it about another season or two before we get 2.0 of Gregory versus T. Because that man, he just cannot help himself. He feels like, I'm the breadwinner. I'm bringing all the money. You should just act as I say. I should have dinner when I come home. You should have my slippers and my bubble bath running. That just gives off that vibe. And I know Sweet Tea, she's like, oh, I've dated older men before. Like, I'm fine with that. But eventually that wears on a person. And I honestly see Letitia want to find her own way of making money and finding her own voice. And that is going to cause problems in her marriage with Gregory, because Gregory is very old-fashioned, where he feels like a woman should not be working. That's just my perception of what we've seen of him on the show in the past, of like, well, we need to be doing this. So, but I think allegedly she's pregnant. So I'm looking like that's going to be very interesting how their dynamic will change once a baby's in the picture. But I thought everyone looked great at the wedding. They were beautiful, whatnot. Of course, Heavenly was going to be in the wedding. Like, what did y'all think? Like, especially, I didn't even know that Bravo paid for the wedding. I'm looking like, so technically they own the master guest list, so they supersede the people getting married. So I don't know why Letitia thought that was going to be a big thing. But here's the thing: we may not like Dr. Heavenly's delivery, or she may be very down to the other low what she says. But is she lying about some of the things that she brings up? Not really. Honestly, her points of view on what she's seeing in the marriage going on between Greg and Letitia, it's playing out in front of us. So granted, we may not like what she is saying, but it is the truth. Diva, why you tilting your head for like you're confused?
And she punked Cecil into getting a job. Remember that?
Well, yeah, because Cecil was too busy being allegedly an alcoholic on Twitter. So thankfully, because of Dr. Heavenly, Dr. Cecil got off of the juice, and now he's selling houses, or selling a house per year. We are proud of it. A Black man doing well in Atlanta. We're here for it. Yeah, I don't see the smoke for Phaedra. I'm just looking like, here's the thing. Y'all know the woman's messy. She's in Atlanta. Y'all know each other. So why are y'all even surprised by her antics? But the thing that I will say that Phaedra's like I don't think she was prepared for, is that they were a united front when they were like, you shouldn't have done what you did at that party. And it was just like, oh snap. She's like, this ain't Ro. I was like, nope. And like literally she's like, okay, I can't pull the same stuff. So I think Phaedra her old ways will still be there, but I don't think she's going to go as far as she did on Roa with these Castlets, because regardless of what they have going on, they will hold her to the fire accordingly.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Smoke. Radiance, you're up.
Okay. Dr. G is full-time cringy. He just is, forever in a day. In the house, probably at work, at a restaurant, on camera, off camera. I see why Quad was ready to divorce him. Like, he said, once my pants come down, they're not coming back up. No, sir. That's very unattractive to everybody. That's unattractive to all genders across the board. No, sir. Please don't. Like Quad didn't miss him. We as an audience didn't miss him. But welcome back, Dr. G. Glad to have you.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet Tea Lion. She studied Roa. She studied Merit to Medicine. She wanted to mimic the Roa scene with Nene name being off the list with Shrek. Just own it, girl. You studied it. The show been on too long. You act like you ain't never seen it. And Sweet Tea Po thing, her wedding was about everybody else except her. Phaedra outfit was giving bridesmaid, maid of honor. She was trying to upstage her, which is not hard to do with Sweet Tea. And Heavenly being on and off the list was the majority. So with that lead Sweet Tea, the minority. Sweet Tea marrying an older man than her mother and her father. He's old enough to be her grandfather. Where her mom and dad start calling Dr. G daddy too. The people want to know.
All right, y'all. Okay, I hear you.
Well, it can't be her grandfather because they be 5 years old having babies.
The Don, you're up.
Oh, I didn't. Whew. Okay. I'm gonna breathe here.
Okay, let me sit down. All right.
This is supposed to be your wedding
and
your husband's wedding. But the only thing you can say to your husband at the reception is, I'm going to be the best wife you ever had.
Oh, damn.
Come on, LaDon.
Why is this lady on your mind at the happiest day of your life?
Let me drink some water.
Oh, Don, come on now.
Y'all keep saying Sweet Tea is this little girl. She is 32. She's a grown woman.
Oh my.
Just because she acts like sometimes she's in 5th grade and she married her elementary school principal doesn't mean she's a little girl. She's extremely knowledgeable and mature enough to make decisions. She made a decision to say yes to a man that's 5 years older than her mom and older than her dad. She also made a decision to say on TV that he's not the first old man that she's dated. So I don't give her a pass of being a little girl. Also, I want the comments to pull up their second devices, your iPads, go to your laptops. And I want you to go to Sweet Tea's Instagram page. Sweet Tea drags the hell out of the women on this show. I just listened to 20 minutes worth where she talked about Dr. Heavenly's wig falling off and how does she have a hair store when she can't afford good glue. So do you think Dr. Heavenly really wasn't going to take a chance to go to Watch What Happens Live and drag the hell out of her? We can't keep giving this girl like she just an infant. I keep saying the same word, victim, because she's not. She talks cash money on her Instagram Live. It's just the people don't know where to find it.
No, I'm going to her Instagram. But
anybody else know what her Instagram page is?
Nope.
Exactly.
No, I don't.
Yes, I know exactly where her Instagram
That's
is.
two.
On every live.
That's two. She talks about these people like a dog. So when other people talk about her, let's not give it too much weight. It's equal.
Oh, I miss those talks.
Oh yeah, I
really diva.
The shade.
It's equal.
It ain't equal. It's not equal.
No, it's not. I didn't say
so.
Right,
because let me tell you, Heavenly go on her show, Carlos show. She called Watch What Happened Live. That girl talking about her like a dog too. And let's come on, Tisha Shade and Heavenly Shade is nothing like the same.
Supply store, but can't find no damn glue. Get you some Got to Be. Get you some the real BB Judy. She got glue. No, she got glue. She don't have no good glue.
She did need some good glue. That wig will stay on her head.
So We can't say that she's this innocent person that doesn't.
That's light shade compared to what Heavenly said about the doggone girl. I know you ain't saying that to them.
No,
Listen,
the shade is shade.
People better than that on this show.
Shade.
I know. Come on now.
Shade is shade. We cannot weigh it. Ain't no weighing it.
Oh, it's a weight in it.
If you
it's a weight in it.
If you're going to mention me,
it's shade for the show, and then I'm getting down in the gutter low shade.
Okay, so we're getting down in the gutter low shade. Why did she mention Heavenly?
Heavenly took it to the gutter low. Heavenly took it to the gutter. She drug it in the mud. She got back up. She said it ain't dirty enough. She put some more water in there, splashed around, and made some more mud.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish you would have poured some hot sauce on it and had cornbread.
Oh my God.
Well, according to next week's episode of Dawn, she's going to whip her ass at the funeral home.
Because anytime you brought up your husband's ex at your wedding, you're obsessed. Why? And then you took Dr. Heavenly off of the list because she said everything that everybody else said on the show. Toya, Simone, but they got in. So miss me with this innocent. She is not innocent by any means. She's not. And I guarantee you, when she has her chance to go to Watch What Happens Live, she's not going to be above board. She's not going to be this model citizen that everybody's pretending she is. She's going to have her shade in her phone under the pillow. She's going to be ready, loaded. Because she's already started. When this lady mentioned Quad at her wedding, I knew, no. That's crazy. Why you just couldn't leave it alone for your day? It's supposed to be the happiest day of your life. You found the man to give you and buy you everything. That's what you said. You got the card. You got the ATM card. You got the Amex. But you still bringing up this woman. For why? And then you said Phaedra wasn't invited. Phaedra was about to take the preacher with her. She should have took her. All this stuff, and we have to remember the season has already wrapped. So when these people go on Watch What Happens Live, they got built up animosity and anger for what's already happened. It's just stuff we haven't seen yet.
That part.
So I'm trying to fight for Sweet Tea, but I'm not going to let her be a victim. Because if you're going to be a victim, that means you can't open your mouth. You don't have to don't play the victim, play the role, but don't talk about these other women. Don't drag them. Don't mention your husband's ex-wife at your wedding when you're supposed to be cutting the cake and doing the Tootsie Roll on the floor.
Oh my God.
Can we at least get the electric slide in there too, the Don? Or the cha-cha slide?
Whew, man.
Who wants to get some hot mic? Because
that was a mic drop.
Sweet Tea, I'm feeling for you, Sweet Tea. But I may be the only one that's Team Sweet Tea.
No, me too.
Okay, come on, Emmanuel. We're on the train car by ourselves.
I like Sweet Tea too.
3 out of 10. How dreadful.
In my opinion. Denzel, you're up.
Well, I will say this. I'm gonna tell you something. I can't wait for the reunion because I can see it now. The reunion for Married to Medicine season 10. It's gonna be lit and it's gonna be messy. I can't wait for it. Um, the wedding was nice. The wedding was nice, but I will say this: who's well, I want the question is who started first? Was it Sweet Tea or was it Dr. Heavenly? Like who started it first? Who was talking? Who was throwing shade and who was talking smack first? Because that's a good question because
Denzel, I'm gonna let you finish, but give me a minute.
uh
Then I agree with you. I'm feeling for her as well. The way Carlos King talked about her was unfair and disgusting.
What did he say?
Oh, he drugged her like she was nothing. I really lost respect for him when him and Heavenly was talking about her the way they was talking about her, and it was so dirty. I was like, "Oh no, not you, Mister! You got all your oppressed women over there from Love and Marriage Husband, man. Stop. He needs to be drugged."
Maybe it's just me, but all I heard he was calling her thirsty, how she's really like open and telling all her everything on the show. I don't know, but to me, I didn't think that was that bad. I know they did make fun of her.
He's a producer of a show, and you got your own people over there that things are breaking down, and it's a whole hot mess. And you sat there. Well, what's the name that left the show that recently they was looking for her on Crime Stoppers?
Kiki.
Not Kiki, the other one.
Oh, Tiffany.
Destiny. So
Destiny.
y'all sat there and told Destiny she wasn't telling enough. Now you're saying that this girl is thirsty and she's telling too much.
Well, Destiny wasn't telling anything. We barely got to hear about.
Which one do you want? How can somebody?
That's not the point.
The good medium.
The point is he's a hypocrite. He needs to stay out of it.
He is. Denzel, I'm sorry. Go ahead, finish.
Oh no, it's okay, Diva. No, because I watched that review that Dr. Heavenly and Carlos did. It was messy. They were being messy, and I don't understand why he called her thirsty. They were messy on that. That was something else. But like I was saying, I don't know who started it first, like who threw shade first and who smack talk first. I don't know.
She was digging in the yard. Man, stop. He was calling her a dog.
Yeah, and you can't talk like that. And then everybody looked good.
Mm-hmm.
The wedding pamphlets that was nice, and Phaedra, she was throwing shade at that, and then the crazy thing is, this is the thing, and I don't get it, but I listened because I had to keep listening, and I was making sure I heard what she said right. If I heard her right, Phaedra, she is a liar, man. She talking about her and Apollo, they were dating since they were 12th grade. Girl, bye. She's 50 and he's 45. How in the, excuse my language, Diva, how in the hell did they date it since 12th grade if they are different age? Like, girl, bye, sit down.
Grooming.
That was a lie. She's a liar. Like, come on.
Maybe he was in the 12th grade and she wasn't.
Or maybe she was in the 12th grade and he wasn't even in high school either.
Oh,
God only knows.
Yeah.
only God knows about that. And then see, Bravo, they messy for bringing Johnny, Candy's old worker. They messy for that. They are messy as you don't know what. They just messy. Bravo TV, they are messy, and they would do anything means necessary for these ratings. They don't care. And then Toya, she looked like she was having a field day because Dr. Heavenly and her husband Dr. Damon, they wasn't on the list. I will say that I will say that was something else. And You know, Dr. Heavily even said on her review with Carlos on her YouTube channel, she even said that the production wanted her, you know, in that scene. So I guess they said you're gonna do that scene. We want you there, and you're gonna do that scene. See, Diva, everybody, the Bravo TV productions, they are messy. Okay, they messy. They want those ratings, and they see dollar signs, and they want to see those ratings. They don't care. They don't care. They will do anything means necessary for those ratings, Diva, everybody. And that, you know, it is what it is, and it's a good season. They giving it. I will say that they are better they were better than the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 15. I would give them that. And that's it. And that's all, Diva.
Thank you. Listen, it's messy. We're going to see how this thing ends up. And I get drama. I'm not against drama, but I think the way that they are dragging Sweet Tea for filth on these social media streets, I think it is too much. I did see her recent live where she did say production let in Dr. Heavenly, but I also heard that she said they let in Phaedra also, because somebody in her comments said, well, how come you had so much heat for Dr. Heavenly, not Phaedra? But she did say Phaedra did so much for her wedding, so that's why Phaedra needed to get in. And I just don't like the way they're taking personal hits at Sweet Tea, right? And when I say personal hits, like her voice, she's fat, she's ugly, her marriage is going to fail. This is Married to Medicine, my love. Like, why are you sitting there? If her marriage is going to fail, let it fail. But why do you have to speak so badly on her marriage? I just think it's too much. And I think it's really extra because Dr. Heavenly, you brought her on and you really pretty much talked to this girl to really be on the show, only so that you can, kick her in the hole that you dug for her.
Can I respond to that real quick?
Can I ask a question also, Diva? Who called her fat?
Oh, they called her all kind of names.
They both did, Quad and Heavenly.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
And the other, and Toya too, saying that she needed to get lipo and stuff like that.
And
All
they,
Toya, of all people, said she needed to get lipo.
They said all kind of stuff.
Honestly, they all do that.
To be honest with you, I think she's beautiful. I don't
think beautiful.
She is gorgeous. She
didn't
is.
have no booty. She needed another booty. They was talking about everything. And here's the thing: it's give it up to the women that's confident in their skin. Okay, the gut skin God gave you. Give it up to you. Okay, because let me tell you something. You get on that table if you want to. You don't know what they pushing up in you. Your behind gonna be sitting in the morgue.
But once again, these are the women who talked about her booty and her weight that had no issue getting into the wedding.
That
Ticket
part.
paid.
Thank you.
And
Thank you,
another
Don.
thing,
Let's
Diva,
think
is
about it
that-
though, but this isn't their first time. They did it to Heavenly. They bullied Heavenly too. With her first time, they talked about her teeth. They called her fat. They talked about everybody's marriages. So like, this is also the name of the reality show like game. So I'm sorry. I feel like she low-key kind of signed up for it. You know you're gonna get attacked if you go on reality TV. Everybody has their fandom. Now you're building your fandom as well.
No, but the fans are not talking about Sweet Tea like that. Maybe some of them are, but I'm talking about on a real heavy level. I feel like they are attacking this girl. The Watch What Happens Live, and I don't care. I've been watching reality for a while, and I've been watching Andy for a while. I never seen an entire live focus on one person.
Yep.
Never. I've never seen it. And literally, at first when I was watching it, I was like, all right, they said a little something about Sweet Tea. Okay, fine. 15 minutes in, they're still talking about Sweet Tea.
But is that
she needs to get better clothes? She's the worst dressed. She's dependent upon this. I mean, they went in.
Yeah, and
But Diva, is that on them or is that on Andy? Because he's the one that's being the moderator providing those questions.
I don't give a darn. Just like she said, they didn't answer other things. You cannot answer that.
Boom, there it is.
No, you're not going to have me, not for a dollar, nickel, or dime, tear down another female like that or any person, I'm just not going to do it. There's nothing worth it to me. You know, one time Felicia was up here. Now, you know, Felicia like to say things differently. I'm not going to use the word she used, right? But she was like, why are they sitting there with Andy Cohen tearing down their own sister? And she wasn't talking about Sweet Tea. It was a different person at the time. And I really sat back and I thought about it. And I said to myself, and then I watched back. I didn't watch a lot, but I sat back and watched another show. When it's the other cultures, and even when he asked them about other people on the show or whatever, they may say something, but it's not this constant digging like that. Go back and watch about 10 or watch What Happens Live. And watching when he talks to the people that are not of color, and he asks them messy questions because that's what he does. And watch when he talks to the people of color. They will dig in so hard on their own people. But I'm telling you, the others don't do that. They don't fall down the rabbit hole like that.
Mm-hmm.
They do not.
That's another conversation for like trending topics. How we're expected to put on shows, dance and jive for the the white
that
man.
part.
Anyways,
Shuck and jive. And see, I wouldn't give it to him. I wouldn't do it. I look back. I said, let me look back. I know for a fact, first time that ever they was so focused on one person. I mean, they tore her to shreds. They tore her to shreds. And so then I went back and I said, okay, let me look at some of this. When it's mixed people, they don't focus. They may say something shady, but they don't even say nasty shady. But when you look at the people of color, is nasty, gut-wrenching, stick the knife in you and turn it shade.
Can I say something, Diva?
I hope when Latoya and Sweet Tea goes up to watch What Happened Live, that they go back to this date and watch your this live.
Mm-hmm.
And when Andy asks those questions to say next,
they won't.
Can I say something?
Give me a minute. You can, Denzel. Give me a minute.
Okay.
They definitely won't, but I'm telling you, every time I watched a few of them, I did a little split, right? The black people, we rip each other to shreds.
You're absolutely right.
To shreds. But I'm telling, they go gutter low. But I'm telling you, the other castmates, even with Erica Jane, even with all of them, they don't get that dirty and grimy. Matter of fact, they'll give a little bit of excuses. Even when Erica was going through everything she was going through and the whole world was ripping her for shreds, her castmates didn't even come up there and do that. And I said, this is interesting. Like, when are we going to stop being played? Anybody can get us to play against each other. Anybody. It's like, when the heck are we going to rise up and rise above and say, nah?
That sounds like Wendy and NECA.
That part. You connecting with me. That part. If I was NECA, first of all, when I read that book that guy wrote in the summer about Bravo and all the shows, right? Yeah. The guy said they can't get people with real money because they don't even want people to know they got money like that, and they're not jeopardizing their safety and everything else for they're not. Right? So they have trouble getting real people that really have money like that. If you notice, every time we find out the people that we think was uber rich on one of these shows, it's some scandal behind it. So they really don't have money the way they claim they had money, right? It's some scandal behind it. But it's just, it goes back to slavery days. It's a mess.
In the union, what we used to say when we was in the union, we used to tell people, us people, we used to say, they don't need us to get rid of one of us.
Right.
If you're going to you don't give room by you running your mouth to tear each other down, because they don't need us to tear us down. They don't need us.
Mm-hmm.
If they want to be entertaining, let the entertainment flow, right? Let the entertainment flow.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't need us to tear us down for entertainment. We don't even have to participate. It's still going to happen, right? So it's going to happen on the social medias. It's going to happen in the blogs. It's going to happen on the YouTube. They don't need us to do this to us.
Right.
So why participate?
Why participate?
I remember many years ago, Queen Latifah was out doing her thing. This might have been in 93, 94, 95, sometime like that. And the people would ask her the question about Little Kim and how do you like, these, because she was the uplifting, ladies first and all of that. And they would be like, well, how do you feel about the Little Kim lyrics? And she was like, don't come to me with that.
Yeah, come on now.
Don't come to me with that.
Come on now.
Kim do Kim and Queen do Queen. She said Latifah do Latifah and Kim do Kim. I'm proud of her. She get her business done. There's a market for that. Yada, yada, yada. But don't come to me with that.
That's what I'm saying, right? That's what I'm talking about. Doreen, you are right. I watched it because I watched it twice painstakingly. She said, I don't think Andy didn't like it too much because the look on his face. He did have a look on his face. Because I think Andy likes shade, but light shade. I mean, they went in on her.
Yeah, that's the difference. There's a difference between little shade, like Nene used to do it, like, meet you with the shade, but they were vicious. And Quad, like, it's so disappointing because I like Quad. So for her to sit up there and just those things that she would say, and she thinks she looks good doing it, which is the crazy part. And for her to be like, oh, I'm winning. I'm just like, are you though? Like,
are you winning? Are you winning? If I'm not bothered by my ex-husband, she said out her mouth, I'm happy for them. But then right after that, she kept tearing her down and it wasn't going to last and all of this. I don't need all that smoke about my ex. I wish him well. I wish him well. That's it. And I do hope that. See, here's the thing too. People can have different experiences with different people. They really can. We can go somewhere together, me and Smoke, and have a ball. Maybe I go with somebody else and we don't have that same good time because that energy just didn't pull out. Right? That don't mean I'm a bad person overall. It's just that when I got with person B, we just didn't click. When I got with person A, we clicked. That's it, and that's all. And is he showing some of the same behaviors? Perhaps, yes. And maybe Sweet Tea can neutralize them a little bit differently. Because Sweet Tea is actually having sex with him.
Ooh, Tifa.
I'm just trying to tell you the truth. How are you going to sit there for years and you and your husband are sleeping in a separate room? It's going to be messy, right? You're not even touching your husband. Y'all roommates.
And they could have came at it a whole different angle. Like, yes, Sweet Tea brought freshness to Married to Medicine. She's being honest. She's being genuine. They could have came at a whole nother angle than to tear this girl down.
Yeah. And yes, go ahead.
I just want to rebuttal with you real quick. Why would I let somebody that's dragging me down the stairs by my hair put their hands on me and make quote unquote love to me? And then I got to pull a knife on them because they're dragging me down the stairs, busting my knee. No,
but
I wouldn't want you to
I hear you, right? But if you go 365 days and you're not having sex, then why are you still there?
Sometimes the relationship
leave.
Right, come on, Don, leave, right? So here's the thing. The thing is too, it's so hard sometimes, even with these conversations of SA and all of that, right? I understand what a lot of people are saying, and I get it, right? But I'm not going to sit in a house with you, and you're supposed to be my husband, and now 365 days have passed, and we're not communicating with our bodies, right? And we're not even sleeping in the same room. And if I'm all that and I got the money, I don't need a roommate. And me, even if I don't have the money, I'm telling y'all, I can live in a studio apartment. Like, I'm out. Like, why are we here? It's going to be a lot of tension when y'all are doing stuff like that. Now, I don't agree. But if this man is dragging you by your hair, why are you still there? Why are you still there?
She got out, though.
She got out 4 to 5 years later, right? How are you married 6 years and 5 of them was horrible? And 4 of them y'all was no longer sleeping together.
She was getting her stacks up. I mean, tell the truth. Just tell the truth. She was getting her stacks up.
But
yeah, and I want to encourage people that leave with nothing. Leave with nothing. Leave with
Can I
nothing.
say something?
Yes, you can. Go ahead, Denzel.
You better preach that again, Diva. Leave with your self-respect.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I do agree with you, Diva, because you're making a lot of sense. I do agree with you. I watched that was what happens live, and they, Dr. Heavenly and Quad, they were doing too much. I understand, yeah, Andy, he was asking them questions, but they should have not have done that. They shouldn't have. They should have just said they don't want to answer. But the thing is, they ripped that girl. They just ripping that girl apart. Like our own people, and it's really sad. Our own people will tear each other down. Like, can we just come together and stop with that with the BS? Because this is crazy, and it seems like Quad. I'm gonna hurry up. It seems Quad is not over that, man, because it seems like she's bothered. It's like, girl, that's it, Diva.
Okay, no problem. And thank you, Robin, for my time check. Yeah, and I will. And yeah, so see, Lorraine, that's the thing right there, right? So I don't know. I didn't look this up, y'all, so I can't prove this, but I'm just saying. She said Claude and Dr. G were fighting before they even got married. They both were arrested for DV and have mugshots out there before the wedding. Look it up. So that's the nonsense right there. And my thing is, when are we going to stop? I'm just talking about collectively. Like, when are we going to stop? Y'all putting paws on each other before you got married, and you still going to walk down the aisle and you think what I do is going to change what you knew before you said I do? It's not.
Love is a powerful drug.
What you see is what you get. And I want to encourage people, don't think, listen, it's hard to change yourself. They said it take 30 days of you being consistent to change a bad habit.
You better speak that, Diva.
And it's hard to do. You change yourself. You think you're going to change another person? No, you see what you see, and that's what you're going to get. And you got to say to yourself, can I deal with that person as is? Not the potential you thinking in their head. I think he's going to change. I think he'll get a job. I think he'll treat me better. No. What you see right here, right now, that's what you're going to get. He ain't cleaning up now. He ain't going to clean up later. He don't treat you right now. He ain't going to treat you right later after you say I do.
That part.
What you waiting for? But you know, and this is your life. You got one life to live. You're going to give up 6 years? You're going to stay in there 4 years to stack your money and lose 4 years of your life? I will go live in my studio apartment. That's it. Boom. I don't got to bring a towel, a couch, a bed. I go to Target or Walmart, get you a blow-up bed, and live your best life and have your peace of mind. Have your peace of mind. But I'm done and I'm good. But to go back, I would just say this. We got to learn within the community to treat each other better, to know when to say and not to say, because the best thing they will always do is try to pit us against each other. I don't do that. And it ain't easy. It's not easy to shut your mouth. It's actually harder to keep your mouth shut than it is to speak on something. Sometimes I be bursting at the seams and I be talking to my friends and they be like, no, keep shut up. Shut up. Let it go. Move on. And eventually you'll wake up and you'll be okay with it. You'll move on. But I'm never, you know, you got an old friend, because, you know, friends, we tell each other our business. I don't say nothing. I fall out with you. Your secrets die with me, in me. I'm good. When you go low, I'm not going low with you. It's not worth everything I built up in my life to go in the gutter with you. But anyway, guys, Radiance, did you get to speak? I'm over time.
Yeah, I did.
All right. Well, listen, guys, I love y'all. Thanks for being here. Tomorrow I'm doing Love and Marriage Huntsville, and I don't care what y'all say about my Tiffany. I shed a tear on Saturday when the Whitlow said they was done with reality TV. And then, in my opinion, sent me something today where what's his name, Maurice Scott. He told the bloggers, "You better stop it and knock it off, because I'm a real lawyer and I will sue if you keep putting lies out there on me." I think some people are putting 20 on 10. Stop digging up all of these people business. The thing is, recap the show and whatever happened on the show, and if they put it on social media. But when you want to go digging up in these people business and the court documents is one thing, because the court document ain't gonna have no lie in it. But then when you want to go digging up arrest records, you're doing too much.
You gotta make sure you got the right name and the right date of birth.
Yeah, but you know what though? You're right in my opinion. But why even do it? You're doing too much.
Well, the Devon Dom said, if it's factual,
that part,
it's gonna have to be bring out.
You know what, well, if you go dig up, a lot of names are so common you won't even believe it. There are a lot of names that are so freaking common.
And the Maurice Scott here in Alabama is very common.
Yeah.
He said my name is Maurice Jefferson Scott.
Come on, didn't he say that right? Get it right. And but the thing is, you're wrong for digging up these people past. Stop. They're on the show. Recap was on the show. If they go on their social media and say something, drag that into your recap. But to go digging up in police records and then coming up to the people like it's facts, you being messy. You on a slippery slope.
Amen.
Jersey Girl 68, I'll show it to you tomorrow. Listen, guys, I love y'all. Good night, goodbye, and I'm in overtime. And I got to put my tree up.
All right. All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night,
Good night, everyone.
Oh, you ain't gonna put that tree up tonight?